This is a special interview with the governor of Zamfara State, Governor Mohammed Bello Matawali Maradu. Thank you, Your Excellency, for giving me the opportunity to have this interaction with you. Questions to ask you today on wide-ranging issues, health, infrastructure, even the 2023 election. I know you are warming up. And my first question is about health. I've seen the extension to the Yarima Bakura Specialist Hospital that is yet to be officially inaugurated. For the equipment, I've seen the impressive equipment that you put in place. What informed the need to expand the hospital?
Well, Babajide, first of all, I would like to thank you for coming to Zamfara State and to come for this program and for you to go around the state and see what we have put in place for the benefit of my people. I thank you for that courage, because I know some of you, if they are coming to Zamfara, the first impression that your family members will have is that if you come to Zamfara, you see a lot of blood flowing in the road and everywhere in the state. And I know you have to hold a special prayer sessions with your friends, family, so that you should come in peace and go back well. But unfortunately, as you are a media man, and now that's why the Weibo say seeing is believing. And I have been telling people that I don't need to be propagating what I have done to people, because this is what we politicians are supposed to give as a dividend of democracy to the people that trusted you and voted you. So you have nothing to do rather than to give them what can help them, help their life, and do everything possible to protect their life and their property. So what we have seen in Yarima Bakura and other health facilities is my initiative, because when I come on board, I saw a level of the health sector that is not working. So I initiated that. First of all, I started by constructing 147 primary health centers and bringing tricycle ambulances for each and every one of these primary health centers in our 147 primary health centers in the ward, because the Zamfara State has 147 wards. So each and every ward, we have built that facility for them. And we bought drugs and some equipment that we are going to equip those primary health centers and all the 147 that we built. And after doing so, I saw the situation in Rimambakura, and I observed that it is only Zamfara State that doesn't have a disease control center, which I immediately, during this COVID-19, I immediately embarked often on that project, which I built a disease control center in Damba, which I believe we went there and see what we have put in place. And in Rimambakura, now we have 3 sources of energy. We have solar, we have a generator, and we have a national grid in Yerima Bukura. We have done this in order just to give the hospital its name as a general hospital, and being it is in the state capital, we will make sure that we do everything possible to put it in place so that people can benefit from what they're supposed to do. And for the commissioning that you talk about, my idea is that I don't need to be making too much noise or spending money on commissioning a project, because that money that I'm going to spend on commissioning project, I can be able to do something to my community with that. So I don't need to make noise. All I need is for those people that I have do for them, they have seen it and they appreciate. That's all I want. So I don't know whether outsider will be talking so much about that Zamfara was not been doing this and that. It's not my problem. All I need is for those people that have confidence on me, that I will do that for them to be happy. And if they're happy, alhamdulillah, I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that.
Yes, it's a tertiary institution, tertiary medical institution, and given the quality of the equipment available, the dialysis center, the equipment in the
X-ray
to the hospital. We heard that you have said victims of banditry should be treated for free. The treatment of patients in the hospital is also said to be very, very cheap, to the point that some patients are even coming from outside the state. Is it possible for you to sustain the momentum given that the patients pay little or nothing for those services?
Yeah, you know, we have drug management agency, which was owned by the state government. We funded it very well. I thought you went there to see how they are manufacturing drugs in Zamfara State. And we have oxygen center all in that hospital. So we have our own oxygen. We do our own oxygen in-house in Zamfara here. And we have that drugs management agency, which is under the control of Ministry of Health, which will do drugs there. That's why we have this primary health centers program, which we give free health to vulnerable people. We have an ID card that was given to those vulnerable people who can access free health care delivery in each and every ward in the state. So virtually we are giving free health in the state. And I believe with what we have in place, we can be able to maintain that momentum, and I assure you that it shall be continued, and we are going to do it. And all we need is the encouragement from the society. If they encourage the government, we can double our effort to do more for their own benefit.
So you are saying that at no time will you be forced to begin to ask for good money?
In no way.
Services.
That will be maintained as it is. We are going to maintain that, and it's going to continue till the end of my administration, by good grace.
Now, let's talk about Zamfara State in terms of the rich potential here. People describe Zamfara as one of the poorest states in Nigeria. Do you honestly think that given the resources that Allah has blessed this state with, that it makes sense to call this state a poor state?
Those that call in Zamfara State, they should go back to the history, or they should Google and see the state that is blessed in the north in terms of solid minerals facilities. Zamfara State is one of the richest states, but I have been fighting for a system to be in place. Once we have the system in place in Zamfara State, from terms of mineral resources, I think within few months, people will come to understand that Zamfara is one of the richest states in Nigeria. But because there is no system in place, that's why people are thinking that Zamfara is poor. But like you, that you come to Zamfara, maybe you can tell the viewers whether Zamfara is poor or rich. You can be able to know some things about that. If you go out here of my house, any particles that you get from the surface, you find out that there must be so many mineral resources in the particles that you are picking from the ground. So it's just that those that doesn't know what is Zamfara, the people are saying that Zamfara is poor. But I assure you that Zamfara is more rich than so many states, not even in the north, but in the whole country. But we are working very hard to make sure that we put the system in place that we can, start getting what we have. We have been in talk with so many investors, and the president is doing his best to make sure that he brings in investors who can come and invest in this country. And the president is part of the place that investors will come and invest. And that's why you see we have now a lot of improvement in terms of security, in terms of so many things, because we are on the ground. We are doing our best to make sure that our people can sleep with both their eyes closed.
Zamfara is sitting on rich deposits of gold. Countries like South Africa, Botswana, it's just gold that they rely on, and they are rich, they are comfortable countries. And the price of gold is stable, it's not subject to fluctuations like crude oil that we experience with the crude oil prices. When is it going to happen for Zamfara, for example, to have its own gold refinery and be able to make money from the God-given resources in this land?
As I said, it's just about the system should start working, because if the system is working, we have a lot of things that we can do in the state, because as a state governor, we only own the land, we didn't own the mineral resources. So, it's exclusive list, exactly. So it's something that there must be a collaboration between the state government and federal government, so that we can be able to harness the potentials that the state government has. But as I said, we have been going so many places with Mr. President, and he have been talking with so many investors who are willing to come and invest in the president. Now it is so easy to know even what we have through Google. You don't need even to come to Zamfara. You can Google and see what we have. They can send Google to get all the mineral resources that Zamfara State has, and so many investors has shown their interest, and President has opened up that who have interest, but not even Zamfara anywhere, and he should come on and let us start talking, so that we can see the possibility of to see how we can be able to get them licensed, so that they can be able to come and invest in the state. And as you know, like now, what is booming in the world is this lithium. We have a lot of lithium deposit in the state. We have a lot of it in the state. So many investors indicate their interest on lithium, and we are talking with them. So once it concluded, they should come and establish a lithium refining here in the state, so that they can be taking it away and for export.
Okay, and that takes me to the matter of IGR. Many state governors are grappling with internally generated revenue. Are you making progress in that area, or have you simply resigned to fate that you can't generate enough within your state?
Yeah, but if you look at the indices, the State is trying on paying revenue, even because we have put in measures in place, particularly on the chairman revenue, and we are working all sectors to make sure that we generate a lot of revenue, which we are moving forward on that aspect. And as I said, what we need is that if federal government, like the Ministry of Mines and Power, can come to Zamfara and establish like a buying center of gold is better, and the government will generate a lot of revenue, and federal government will benefit a lot of revenue from the state. Because if you go to local miners, all these artisanal miners that are mining, there is no control on it, which control measure has to be put in place. Federal government has to establish selling and buying center in the state, so that royalty should be paid to federal government. But if we just allow them, everybody should go as a illegal miner or artisanal mining. We have been chasing a lot of illegal miners since my inception. We have been chasing them away. We have a task force for that. Even Office of the Inspector General of Police has sent a task force of illegal mining, and they are working day and night. So the best way is for the federal government to establish buying and selling center in Zamfara State, so that all the proceeds should go to federal government. I think it's better than to be, because no matter what it is, there is a lot of local gold market in Zamfara State, where you can go and buy, a gold like you are buying kola nut. So because there is no control on it. So, but if federal government put a control, we can be able to put any measure, even if it is possible that the state government should enact any law that can ban anybody to sell anything anywhere. It has to go to that buying center. It's better, so that people shouldn't politicize this kind of insecurity on mining, or it is not like that, because our people, most of them, they stay on gold deposit in their houses. And some of the particularly during this rainy season, you'll see how bands of gold were exposed by rain. So people, you can't tell them not to go and you can't. Because I remember when I was away, yes, I was away when just here about 2 kilometers from my hometown, a band of gold were exposed by rain. Many people, more than 3,000 people, were trooping to go to that place in Gidankanu, here under Malado local government, taking gold out of it. We have to talk to the security agency. Yes. We have to send I can show you the clip video when they send it to me. I was away, I was not even in the country. So we have to invite all the security, including the army, the police, and everyone before we disperse those illegal miners. So you see, it is high time for federal government to establish this center in Zamfara State, so that because there is a lot of hostages, nobody cares, a lot of revenue is not been getting from the state is not benefiting, the federal government is not benefiting from it. But once federal government put that system in place, both the state and federal government will benefit from it.
Is this not why some people are calling for restructuring, so that states can take control of
their resources? Yes.
There's a lot that you can do, for example. In a state where you are sitting on gold, you have more gold than even Ocean State.
No, Ocean doesn't have gold like Zamfara. You should go and check the record and see it. Because in Ocean, you have to go like 200 meters before you get a gold. But in Zamfara, in the surface, you can take a gold in any of the surfaces. Now, if you get out from here, you can just take the sand and, sieve it. You can be able to see some particles of gold. That is Zamfara State. But system has to be put in place for us and the federal government to enjoy these potentials that the state government have.
Also started the airport project. Many people wonder why you have to do an airport when Sokoto State is less than about 2 hours away. They can't explain why you need that.
Sokoto is not a state. Is it a state, Sokoto, or federal government? What of Zamfara? Is it a state? So my problem with this, I have been asking these questions that oppositions are saying that it's misplacement of priority. But to my surprise, like you that you come from Sokoto through Zamfara, is it not stressful for you to travel at that time? And with the kind of insecurity that is visible in the northern part of the country, if anyone was telling me that I should stop doing the airport, I take that person as a mad person. So Zamfara doesn't want to grow forward. Zamfara is not a state that can be able to have an airport, while other states in Nigeria has an airport. Why not Zamfara? Why are they jealous of Zamfara? Zamfara too is a state like any other state. So for me as a governor, when I say I'm building an airport, I have had so many challenges, many people saying so many things that is a misplacement of priority for building an airport, that I should go to Zamfara, Sokoto or Katsina. So are they not a state? Are they not the state governor's initiative to build an airport? What is wrong with me when I come on board and say I want to build an airport for my state, for the people of the state to enjoy that, for the people of the state to enjoy what other states have been enjoying for many years, for decades? Then Zamfara State doesn't want to enjoy that. So any sincere person would never talk about that. To me, it's just an opposition that their eye were closed. Whatever we did, no matter how good it is, they will put a black and paint it black. So I will continue building the airport because it's not for their own benefit, but the benefit of the people of the state. For you now, as it is cargo and international airport, we are just finish talking about the potential that the state has. So all those investors, if to say we have an international airport that they can fly from their country to Zamfara, it's more better for them than to say they have to go to one step before they come to the state. Like you now that you come from Abuja, it is better for you if Zamfara has an airport. You can take direct from Abuja to Zamfara rather than for you to go to Sokoto. Now, if you are going to Sokoto, you have to be given security escort that will escort you to Sokoto because of the road there. But isn't it better for you just flew from Abuja direct or from anywhere to Zamfara state? So any good intention person of the state will appreciate my effort of building this airport, because how many years do you have the state? But it is during this time I stand on my feet that I have to build this airport, and I continue to build it, and inshallah I will finish it.
When do you envisage that you can deliver the airport?
Yeah?
When do you envisage that you can deliver the airport?
Yeah, I think now about 4 to 5 months, by God's grace, it will be finished.
Let's talk about the hotel project as well. The people have also been saying that there's no need for the state government to build an hotel, that should have been left to the private sector. What triggered your interest in building that hotel that is in progress?
And those people that are saying it should be leaving to the private sector, they should come to me. They should ask me the land. I will give them the land to build a hotel if they are serious. If I told they are the lovers of the state, they should confront me. I should give them the land. Let them show that, yes, they are genuinely saying it on their heart and they are sincere on what they said. So we should give them the land so that let them come and build a hotel for the people, for the guests who used to come to the state to benefit from it, and for them to show that they are good citizens of the state and they want the state to be one of the best states in Nigeria. So you see, people will be just talking sometime out of anger or out of maybe sincerity, because if someone will say, why did the state government be okay? Before we have been spending a lot of money on paying every month, but now we are not, because most of the houses that we have in the government house can cater some of the guests that the government has, and some of the people that when they come, there is no good accommodation that can compare to with other states. I want them to compare with so many states in Nigeria. I have a test, and I want that test to maintain, to be built Zamfara State. All I need is, if you come to Zamfara and stay for 2 days, you will love to come back and stay in Zamfara State. That's my vision, and that is what I'm working for. Not just for you, if you come to Zamfara State, you'll be crying that the hotel they come and put us, mosquito bite me, I was having malaria, blah, blah, I saw rat, I saw this. No, this is not what I want. What I want, if you come to Zamfara for your first time of coming, first impression matters. When you come to the state, tomorrow when you go by, you'll be dreaming coming back to that state because of the hospitality that we meet in the state.
Let's look at education. Let's see what you've done. What's your scorecard like in the area of education?
I don't need to give my own. You cannot be judge of yourself. I cannot give my scorecard. I want the public, I open it to public to give me a scorecard on it, because I know what I met and I know what I do. So you are the witness. You saw some school, you go around the school, you see how we build some schools. But when you are away from the state, if you hear many people will be making noise that maybe Zamfara is not doing anything, Zamfara cannot do this, do that, but you, when you come and go around, you see what we have done. And at least for you to see what we have done within this time, at least for my first 2 years, we have done the best, I think. But you shall give me the scorecard by yourself, because you have gone around and see what I have done.
I know that you are someone who doesn't like praising himself. But we live in a society where if you don't blow your trumpet, nobody will blow it for you. And I've been here for 3 days, but it's not possible to see everything that you have done in just 3 days. That's why I asked the question. Where do you want to leave the standard of education in this state, both in terms of the quality of instruction and the quality of infrastructure in place by the time you leave as government?
Well, you see, the models of what we put in place, which you saw some of the model here, and which I want to maintain that model. Each and every local government must have that standard. And what we want is those that is out of school should be enrolled in schools. And before Zamfara is the last, I think is the last on the list for out of school children. But if you follow off to universal basic education, last year was published that Zamfara come the fourth in the whole country because of what we are doing to make sure that we enroll the students into schools. We pursue parents to bring their children to the school, and we succeeded now because of the free feeding we are giving and the kind of feeding we are giving to the children. At least people are happy and the families are happy taking their children to the school. So by God's grace, what I want to leave is that I will make sure that during my time, most of the families will take their subject to the schools. And we have already started doing that, and to build massive infrastructures in education sector, because education sector even this year has the largest budget in our budget. And I assure you that the next time that you are coming back to Zamfara, you see a lot of changes. You go around and see how we remodeled our school, both the junior and the secondary schools.
Okay, how about the students, your students that are schooling in Cyprus? What's the state of affairs?
Just of recent, we make a payment of about 400 million for that. Okay, when you have talked about that, let me tell you the incidents that happened, so for the world to understand what I'm facing on that school. For the first time, when a consultant brought me that idea to take our students to outside countries, he brought, I think, the offers of like 1,000 per student. That is the initial offer. I have everything written. So the whole total is $256,000 for the whole 200 students. $256,000, which we divided these students. Some should go to Cyprus, some should go to China, some should go to Sudan, some should go to where is one of the country, about 5 countries. So, but unfortunately, the consultant that brought this idea to me, and I bought the idea. So the first semester goes very well, second semester same, third semester, that is where issues start coming, when we start having this COVID-19. So he said the students that are supposed to go to China cannot go to China. I said, okay, you should take them to Sudan, because Sudan is part of the country that we have taken the student to. So when we take them there, I thought they have already done so, not knowing to me that he take all of them to Cyprus, which the amount specified that time is 1,000, highest 1,200 per student. But at the end of the day, now we are paying some of these students 10,000, some 12,000, up to 14,000 per person. Per person. So something went wrong. And I was asking what happened. I sent a lot of committee to go and verify. So at the end of the day, even the money that we used to pay for the upkeep of the students, I learned that it was not being given to them properly. The money that we're supposed to be paying, we paid for even their feeding money, we paid for the hostel, we paid for the school fee, we paid everything. And these are the children of a normal people in Zamfara State. I have no any person from me or from my family. You should go and verify, no one. In fact, I want all the people involved in that getting that admission that they should fear God, that they shouldn't put any person close to them. I want my commissioners, I want my permanent secretaries, I want even the state assembly members. But what happened at the end of the day? the story has changed completely. Now we are paying at least 10,000, lowest 10,000 to a student. And but we have been checking, but we have no option because we have sent those children into that country. So we have no option now. We cannot withdraw them. We have to continue doing that.
So you have some regrets?
Yeah, because they have, you know, I can say the consultant have duped the government. They have cheated on us, and this is not the initial agreement that we have agreed. And this is the people that we do. They cannot even do their own common half-body passport. They cannot. We paid for even half-body passport for each student. They cannot even pay for. We pay for their transport from their own locality to the state. We did their passports.
These are indigenous students?
Yes. None of them spend one single kobo. None. You cannot pay anything. We pay everything, including, I told you, including their feedings in the schools. All of them. None of the member of my family or friends or anyone was getting that admission into those schools.
Life teaches us lessons.
Yeah, of course.
So you will handle that differently next time. Let's talk about Ruga. I've been there, not far away from your house here in Maradu. You have a plan to replicate it in the two other senatorial zones. How is that plan going? When are we likely to see the project take off in the two other senatorial zones?
Yeah, you know, the idea of doing the Ruga is when we initiated the dialogue with the repentant bandit. So they tell us their predicament. There is some things that they want the government to fulfill after the dialogue at that time, which they complained that most of their houses were destroyed, either by Nsakai or by the military. So they begged me that we should get them some place to stay, so that if they have a place to stay with their animals, and we should build them some facilities like schools, like veterinary hospitals, like religious centers, and other things within the Ruga, which we discuss it with both the security agencies, the stakeholders, the traditional institutions, and we come off with an agreement that if that should be the case, we shall do it in the 3 senatorial zones of the state, which we have started doing here in Maradun. And you went there, you see the level that we are, you see the quality of the job that has been done in that place. We give them 200 hectares of land, and we build everything, including ASDAB in that place, including their grazing reserve, all within the Ruga, with police stations, with solar street light, with market, often unlocked shops, all inclusive in the place, with primary school, secondary school, with stadium, so many things we put in that place. That concept is for them to be comfortable and to see that the government is sincere on the dialogue so that they can stay in one place. And my reason for doing so is for me to not allow them migrating from one place to another. Because if you look at what is happening in the whole country, most of these Fulanis are from Zamfara state. That is the reality. They migrate from Zamfara to Birnangwari, to Kaduna, to Oyo, to almost part of the country, including up to Tribal state. So my mission is for me to maintain them in one place so that they should not be migrating from Zamfara to go to another state to cause problem. I have done this in good faith for me to bring them down and contain them in one area so that they should feel that they are part of the society. That is what entails for me to build the Ruga. And we continue doing this Ruga. You see how huge amount we spend in that Ruga. You see, and my intention is if we agreed, we completed this one, then we go to another one and do before we come out and say, okay, we are out of the dialogue because most of them has gone back to their normal businesses, which the government cannot tolerate what they have done to us because we sincerely agree to do the dialogue with them. But some of them, go back and rejected the dialogue and continue the activities of banditry. So it was what happened.
Do you regret coming up with dialogue for these folks in the first place?
No, I did not, because up to tomorrow, there is those that accepted the peace. And because there are some of them up to now, they are not back to that activities. So we have reduced their strength, we have reduced the capacity of what they are doing. Because like now, even because of those that accepted the dialogue at that time, you cannot come to Maradon and even go to that Ruga. But up till tomorrow, Maradon is at peace, and most of the local government is at peace. Because now, if anyone comes from another local government to cause problem as a bandit, those that accepted the initiative, sometimes they used to kill those that used to come and cause havoc. So still, I did not regret about that, because up till tomorrow there is good people. It's just like Nigerians. Up to tomorrow, you have bad and good people, and that is how it is. Everywhere you must find good and bad people. So we are still working with those that they have agreed and accepted the dialogue. So they are now with their communities. They can go anywhere because they have dropped off what they have. And up till tomorrow, they are pursuing me to go ahead with the Ruga. But I want to see how reality they are. Because we don't want a situation whereby after we give them the place, because you see we build the houses for each and most of them. We have about 210 houses there, which we are going to give them free. That is the aim of doing the Ruga, including their traditional rulers that will help them. Yes.
There was a time that you encourage our people to take up arms and defend themselves. Don't you think that your admonition to our people to take up arms was born out of frustration, that you are trying to contain this problem, but it remains there?
Yes, you see, God knows I have adopted so many options for this crisis to leave the state. But unfortunately, as I said, up till tomorrow, there is good and bad people in any society. So we try all we can. I have adopted so many options in the state. And most of the options that I adopted has yielded a lot of results. All of the options. I have done dialogue. We have gotten a lot of results. I shut down the network. It gave a lot of results for that. And we cut the food supply to them. And we saw successes on that. So most of the options that I have taken has yielded a lot of results. But, in a society, you cannot say it's 100%.
But our people don't have the weapons to stand up to these bad boys.
See, if you look at it, the origination of this problem is how Yansaka used to kill them. They fear Yansaka. They fear them. Because this Yansaka, the vigilante group, they use this fabricated weapon that called Wagila. They used to put this motorcycle plug on it. So they fear that. Bandit doesn't want to hear that, because, if they shoot, they will cut the person into two. They will cut them. So they saw these Yansaka as the most devilish people. So they fear them. So by giving that directives, I know the reason why I give that directives, and I succeeded on the directives that I have been given. And I was so surprised. People even doesn't know how to confront a war. War have so many options, so many ideas if you know how to go on war. It's not just for you to say, okay, I put uniform there, I'll carry my gun and go and start confronting enemies. No. If you are going to war, you have to use so many ways, so many options in order to defeat your enemies. So why I said everybody should, because these guys, they are like animals. How can you go just and see someone farming? This man, he did not do anything to, and you kill that person. Okay, if you say our people doesn't take arms, who is going to prevent the bandit not to take arms? Tell me, who's going to prevent them not to take arms? Are they not having arms? They have their arms. How did they get their arms? Why those that are saying that is wrong, why didn't they go and save our people so that we should not come and make noise? So as a governor, do you want me just to fold my arm just to be seeing my people being killed every day? Kidnapping every day, maiming every day. It's not possible. Because it's one of the primary responsibility of every governance to protect the life and property of his people. So if these people can come and kill, and the worst of it is, you see about 4 people who come to a community where you have more than huge, big boys, more than 10,000 in that community. But because these 4 people who just come with 4 guns, but they will ransack all the people in that community. They will kill the one that they kill, yes, burn their houses. So what if they know that, okay, these people, the community I'm going to penetrate, they have their own weapons? They will not go there. That is the reality.
Let's have 2 questions. The one is on the death penalty. Do you really think that it will work?
Yeah, it will work. I have signed it into law. And anybody found, I will use the law. Yes.
But across the world, the death penalty is no longer popular.
Those that are killing people, is it popular when they are killing people? What 2 people are saying one day, go and just killing innocent people? Is it popular, that one? So, but when the government enacted a law to kill those that are killing people, that is not popular. Shall be sincere, Babajide.
Okay. Coordinator of Ebola Tinubu's campaign, presidential campaign for the Northwest. What are his chances? Do you think he can win the election?
By God grace, he will win.
What do you think stands him out that makes you convinces you that?
Though you are not a politician, but do the calculations. You find the answer immediately. I'll give you the calculations. This is our own strategy. I don't need to say it in front of TV or screen or pages of newspaper, but I will tell you how the calculation is, and you will be convinced that he will win the election.
Some people are saying it's not the best for the job, that someone like Peter Obi is...
The Peter Obi even believe he's a Nigerian. But did he believe in Nigeria as it is? He didn't. And let me tell you, if they say he's not okay, who is the best person that you say that they say he's not the best? Who is the best person to rule the country?
Critics are saying Peter Obi is better.
That's very good. That's very good. What do you call them? What do you call them?
Okay, I can change what I can.
What is the just expect?
Social media is very popular. Many young people think that's the best.
That is not in the north. Have you seen social media in the north promoting Peter Obi in the northern Nigeria?
They gather themselves.
I'm asking you.
I saw a crowd of
Where?
Obi supporters in Kano.
Even you, if you want to go and have a crowd in Kano, go and give money. Many people will come and follow you. They will think, say you have a presidential candidate. You can be popular once you have the money, and once you hire a crowd, you can do so. But during the election, that is where they will understand that they have a wrong calculation. Go and write it.
The APC now. The APC vote at national and in your state.
Well,
deliver.
We are united. Like in my state, you see, in my state before we have some crisis, but today we are one. All the warring factions in the state are one. We are all together. We are together. Not even the three musketeers, including even all the former governors. All the former governors, right from Yerima Bokura, Mahmoud Shankafi, and Abdulaziz Yari. And myself, as a sitting governor, we are all together under one roof. So I assure you, yeah, of course. I am the one who promoted PDP in the state. For 20 years, PDP doesn't have councillor. For 20 years of democracy, PDP never win a single councillor. Go and ask. It is during my time who promoted the PDP. And I told them when I was to be the flag bearer that this is the right time that PDP will have a governor, that PDP will break a record in Zamfara state. Being you have given me this ticket, I'll become a governor by God's grace. And that is what exactly happened. So, but now I'm PDP. I don't even know him. I don't know him.
But I know him.
Okay, maybe he's your friend.
I've never met him.
Okay.
I know him.
So you go to Zamfara and ask about him.
He wants to be governor too.
Okay. Let the time come.
He's ready to meet you on the field.
Oh, good. If he's a good player, we should play the match very well. You will see who will be down.
Maybe you are Liverpool, he's Manchester United. Thank you, Your Excellency, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Babajide. Thank you.
Governor Matawale of Zamfara State. Jide, before we go, quickly, let's talk about intra-party democracy within the People's Democratic Party. It's happening. It happened yesterday in Ogun State. It happened in Kebbi State. Mm-hmm. We also have another one in Zamfara State. Tomorrow is going to be a big day in Osun State.
Supreme Court is going to give its verdict on a pre-election matter. It has to do with this same primaries. You know, a lot of the courts have cancelled primaries of PDP largely, and even the APC. So the case has to do with the primaries, the governorship primaries. No one knows what the Supreme Court will decide. But people
go a long way to affect.
People are terrified. People are worried. They don't know what will happen, because with the Supreme Court,
it will change the texture of everything.
You never can tell where the pendulum of victory will swing to. And if the pendulum of victory swings in the opposite direction, it then means that every action taken after the primaries is a nullity. So even if you won an election after a primary election that was adjudged to have been conducted in contravention of the guidelines,
ab initio,
then I'm sorry, you are looking, it's something like Bayelsa that may happen. Nobody knows what will happen, but even me, I feel the tension to an extent.
Supreme Court of the PDP in Osun State. Tomorrow we'll be here to talk about it, hopefully, if they are done with that verdict. And that's our package today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. And don't forget to join us every Sunday for the Journalist Hangout on Sunday between 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Bye for now.
We remain bullish in our approach to developing Oyo State.